Welcome to 30k channel with your hosts Connor and David.
Today we've got a pretty massive game for you guys. We've got 4k of Alpha Legion Thousand Suns.
Yes. Now I know it might seem a bit of an odd matchup, Alpha Legion Thousand Suns, but
they love to fight those Alpha Legion though.
They do. So I think it's going to be good fun. We've both got a Lord of War. I've brought a Falchion, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and today we're bringing along the Primarch Magnus. So he has been upgraded to take his Unrestrained Might of the Crimson King upgrade.
Yeah.
So he'll be throwing around a lot of big psychic powers. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, very worried about him. He is full bore, unrestrained, and he can, he doubles the range of his psychic powers.
Yeah, and for this game we have discussed using the Pyromancy tree, so he has a lot of big spells that he can be throwing around.
Absolutely, yeah. So we're very, very worried about that. However, in response, the Alpha Legion have brought some serious firepower in the form of, the Falchion. We've got some las cannons there. We've got a 10-man or a 9-man missile launcher team.
Yeah, there's a lot of long-range firepower in the Alpha Legion, so the Thousand Suns really have their work cut out for them. They've got to get in close, got to do some killing. Yeah,
so really excited to bring you a 4K game. It's been a very long time since 4K's been on the channel, so very excited. We have a quick look at the mission. We are playing Blood Feud, and we might as well reveal it now. We both have chosen infantry because that's pretty much all we've got abundance of, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of points up for grabs in infantry. Both of the rest of them, we'd be limiting ourselves to 2 to 4 points with a whole lot of things.
Yeah. So the question will be, is a Falchion better than a Primarch? So we will find out. Who knows? All right, let's get on to the list and then we'll go straight into first turn.
See you soon.
Leading the Alpha Legion is a Praetor equipped with a Paragon Blade, Power Fist, Digital Lasers, Mastercrafted Paragon Blade and an Iron Halo. There's also a Saboteur equipped with Melter Bombs, Artificer Armor and a Combi Melter. There is also a Morita equipped with 2 Plasma Pistols and a Jump Pack and will join the Destroyer unit. The Destroyer unit consists of 10 Destroyers equipped with 2 Rad Missile Launchers and the Sergeant has 2 Phosphex Bombs. The second elite choice is a Contemptor Dreadnought equipped with a Chain Fist and Power Fist. There are 2 Melter Guns in each fist and also has extra armor. For the third selection there are 10 Tartarus Pattern Terminators equipped with Heavy Flamer, a Plasma Blaster, there are 2 Power Fists, 4 Chain Fist, and 3 dual Lightning Clawed Terminators. Troops, there are 2 10-man tactical units, all equipped with additional close combat weapons. The Sergeant has Artificer Armor and a Power Fist, and their dedicated transport is a Rhino with extra armor. The third troop's choice is a 10-man tactical support unit. All of the Marines are armed with plasma guns. They are also equipped with extra close combat weapons and the Sergeant has Artificer Armor. They are also transported into battle in a dedicated transport in the form of a Rhino with extra armor. Fast Attack consists of 10 Seekers. The Sergeant is armed with Artificer Armor. Their dedicated transport is a Proteus battle tank equipped with a pintle-mounted multi-melter and 2 twin-linked las cannons. It also has extra armor. The first heavy support choice is a Laser Vindicator Destroyer equipped with extra armor and Machine Spirit. The second heavy support choice is a Deredero Dreadnought equipped with an Arachnus las cannon battery. It also has an Alos missile launcher, extra armor and a twin-linked heavy bolter. The third and final heavy support choice is a 9-man Legion heavy support squad. They have all been equipped with missile launchers. The Lord of War choice is a Falchion equipped with Space Marine crew, 2 Sponson mounted quad las cannons and equipped with a twin-linked volcano cannon.
Leading the Thousand Suns is Magnus the Red. He's been upgraded with the Unrestrained Might of the Crimson King. The first HQ choice is a Legion Praetor. He's equipped in Cataphractii Terminator armor. He's been upgraded to take Arcane Litanies and Asphyx Shells. He's the Raptora Cult Arcana, along with 3 levels of Psychic Mastery, Digital Lasers, a Grenade Harness, a Combi Bolter, and a Mastercrafted Paragon Blade. The second HQ choice is a Legion Chaplain, also upgraded to take Cataphractii Terminator armor, Arcane Litanies, a Power Maul for his Crozius, along with a Volkite Charger, in addition to 1 level of Psychic Mastery and the Raptora Cult Arcana. The third HQ choice for the Thousand Suns is a Champion equipped with a Paragon Blade and a Thunderhammer, in addition to Artificer Armor, a Refractor Field, Arcane Litanies, a single level of Psychic Mastery, in addition to the Pavoni Cult Arcana. The first elite's choice is a Contemptor Dreadnought Talon, comprised of a single Contemptor Dreadnought. It's been upgraded to be in a Siren, in addition to a Carrier's Assault Cannon. The second Leech choice, a second Contemptor Dreadnought Talon. Contemptor equipped with a Carrier's Assault Cannon, Dreadnought Power Fist with an inbuilt Plasma Blaster. The third Leech choice is a 10-man Kenetai Blade Occult Cabal. The Kenetai Blade Master has been upgraded with Artificer Armor, and the squad has the Pavoni Cult Arcana. The first troops choice is a Sekhmet Terminator Cabal. They have been upgraded to take Cataphractii Terminator Armor. They have the Raptora Cult Arcana. There is a single Terminator with Chain Fist, 2 Terminators with Power Fist, and 3 with Force Swords. They are all equipped with Combi Bolters with Asphyx Shells. The second troops choice is a 10-man Tactical Support Squad. The Sergeant is upgraded with Artificer Armor, and all of the Marines are upgraded to take Plasma Guns. The third, fourth, and fifth troops choices for the Thousand Suns are 3 identical squads of Veteran Tacticals. They're all upgraded to take Asphyx Shells, Bolt Guns. They are all upgraded Brotherhood of Psychers with the Pavoni Cult Arcana, in addition to Melter Bombs, a Vexilla, and the Sergeants all have Artificer Armor. Their Veteran Tactics were all Machine Killers. The first fast attack choice for the Thousand Suns is a 10-man Seeker Squad. The Sergeant was upgraded to take Artificer Armor. The only heavy support choice for the Thousand Suns was a Castellax Achaea Battle Maniple of 2 Castellax Achaea, both equipped with Mauler Pattern Bolt Cannons. Thousand Suns Alpha Legion, turn 1 before the game begins, rolling to seize the initiative for the Thousand Suns. A 4. Unfortunately, the Alpha Legion go first.
Alpha Legion, turn 1 movement. A fairly cautious move, the majority of the units staying stationary. However, the Terminators have advanced behind those Rhinos, carrying the Tactical Marines, and this Rhino that holds the Plasma Support Marines has just advanced. We're hoping to funnel the Thousand Suns through these openings in the rocks, and then finally on the right hand side here, this Contemptor has bravely set forward and will try and engage this unit over here. Alpha Legion, turn 1, shooting phase, starting with a Derodero firing its Arachnus Heavy Las Cannon Battery into the front of the Thousand Suns of Siren Dreadnought. 2 shots at strength 10, hitting on 2s. Oh, there's always a 1. 3s to glance, 4s to pen. That is a penetrating hit.
The Siren does, however, have a 5-up invul save. Ooh, and that is saved.
Alright, going to fire the ALOS missile launcher at the side armour of the Dreadnought as well, requiring 2s to hit. Always a 1. 6s to glance. Oh, dog. The 2 Rhinos at the head of the Alpha Legion advance fired into the veterans directly ahead of them, but due to snap shooting as they moved up to 12 inches, they failed to hit. The Terminators firing their combi mortars through the Rhinos into the veterans ahead of them, requiring 3s. That's a full complement of hits. Lovely. 4s to wound. That is 2 wounds on the vets.
On to the 3+ armor saves. Ooh, 1 saved, 1 paid. 1 saved, 1 failed.
Moving on to the Falchion, the left-hand side sponson will fire into the Thousand Suns Contemptor Dreadnought. 2 shots, twin link with a quad las cannon. It is twin linked. Come on, lovely. Strength 9, 4s to glance, 5s to pen. There's 1 glance and 1 pen.
Cool, the 5-up invul save for the glance. No, that is 1 hull point taken. And for the penetrating hit, ooh, that is another hull point taken.
All right, +1 to the penetrate on the result. 5, 6, that is an immobilized result, which is a really good start. The Falchion then fired its twin-link Volcano Cannon directly at Kenetai Blade between the gaps of the rock face, scattered first, quite by a big margin, and then scattered once again, and completely missed its target. What a shame. Hoping to finish off the Thousand Suns Contemptor, the Missile Launcher Squad will fire 5 missiles into the model there. That is a horrendous amounts of misses, with only 3 hits, and Strength 8, Front Armor 13, 5s to glance. That is a double penetrate. Lovely.
With both hits being penetrates, the Contemptor needs 2 5s or 6s to save itself. Ooh, and that Contemptor is destroyed.
Moving on to the Land Raider Phobos. It will fire its twin-linked las cannons. 1 will be Power Machine Spirited, 3s, twin-linked, into the Castellax Achaea. Strength 9, Toughness 7, 2s to wound. That's 2 wounds on the Castellax.
They do, however, have a 5-up invul save. Ooh, and that is 1 wound caused.
There is also a multi-melter that will snap shoot, and that is failed. The Vindicator will also fire into the Castellax. It did move, so it's only 1 shot. Hits on a 3. It hits. It's Strength 9, 2s to wound. Ooh, that travelled loads, but that is an AP1 wound.
With a 5-up level save still for the Castellax. Ooh, and that is another wound caused.
Finally, the Contemptor Dreadnought on the far right-hand flank will run towards those Marines directly ahead, 4 inches. End of turn 1 for the Alpha Legion. Not a bad start. Taking out a Contemptor Dreadnought was really helpful. However, that falchion missing and not putting a single dent into the Thousand Suns line is a real shame. However, there is plenty of firepower to pour into the Thousand Suns in the next few turns, with reserves arriving soon, hopefully.
Thousand Suns, turn 1 movement. The Thousand Suns finally pushing forward out of cover, no longer hiding from the falchion. At the one end of the board, the veterans push towards enemy Contemptor Dreadnought, while the Castellax move in to close off that breach, allowing the Kennetype Blades and veterans to advance behind them. Down at the other end of the board, the Sekhmets with Magnus, along with veterans and Seekers, all start pushing out of cover into the Alpha Legion lines, getting ready for the Psychic and Shooting phase to hopefully lighten some of the Alpha Legion load on the table. First power cast by the Sekhmet is Levitate, carrying them forwards 12 inches. Thousand Suns, turn 1 Psychic phase. A very mixed bag from the Thousand Suns, with the Sekhmet and Magnus pushing forward into the centre of the board. Unfortunately, however, Magnus failing to cast several of the powers he was looking to destroy those Rhinos and the Derrideo Dreadnought. Meanwhile, the Siren casting Terrify on the Terminators, but failing to manifest Psychic Shriek. Finally, however, working well for the Thousand Suns, Objuration Mechanicum being cast on the Heavy Support Squad and the Derrideo Dreadnought. Finally, the Siren getting Fire Shield from Magnus himself for a 4-up cover save. Thousand Suns, turn 1 shooting phase. The Siren opening up for the Thousand Suns, firing its Kara's Assault Cannon into the Alpha Legion Rhino in front of it. Hitting on 2s, its Kara's Assault Cannon. Ooh, 1 miss. It is, however, looking for 5s to glance, 6s to pen. And that is not a single bit of damage. Next to fire, Magnus summoning his Sci-Fi Serpenter with D3 shots. Only 1. Ballistic skill 5, so looking for 2s to hit. Excellent. Could have used that for the number of shots, but that's alright. 3s to glance, 4s to pen. And Magnus fails to damage the Rhino. There is, however, a Volkite Charger on the Chaplain in the squad with 2 shots hitting on 2s. There's 2 hits. Strength 5 against Side Armor 11, so 6s to glance. Ooh, and that is at least 1 bit of damage caused. The squad of Legion veterans, number 1. Fury of the Legion firing their bolters through the Rhinos at the Terminators behind. There were 22 shots. Of those, only 3 missed, leading to 19 wound rolls. So looking for 4s or more. Ooh, a much less spectacular roll this time. That is, however, 1, 2, 3. That is, however, 7 wounds.
7 2-up armor saves on those Tartarus pattern Terminators, and 1 double lightning claw Terminator dies.
Final shooting from the Thousand Suns this turn. The 2 Castellax Akio fire their Mauler Pattern bolt cannons into the lone Contemptor Dreadnought, hitting on 3s with 6 shots. Ooh, and that is only 1 miss. Off to a good start. They are looking for 6s to damage the side armor of the Contemptor. Ooh, and that is 2 points of glancing damage.
Yeah, nice. A 5-up invulnerable save, automatic shielding. Oh, you beauty. Double save.
Also looking to get themselves in position, the Plasma Support Squad run forward 1 inch. Thousand Suns, turn 1 assault phase. The Melter Bomb equipped veterans have declared a charge against the enemy Contemptor Dreadnought.
Alright, there are 2 melter guns with the fist of that Contemptor. Double 6 for Overwatch would be lovely. Ah, boo.
And for the charge of the Thousand Suns, ooh, 4 inches is nowhere near enough. End of turn 1 for the Thousand Suns, and things are not looking great. A lot of the Alpha Legion should have been removed from the board, but after some sad rolls from the Thousand Suns, there's a lot of blows still on the table.
Alpha Legion, turn 2 movement. At the beginning of the phase, the reserves arrived in the form of the Moritat and the Destroyers. Deep struck onto the board into the back of that unit there. The Saboteur also arrives, placing his attack onto the Siren Dreadnought, but it passed its invulnerable save, which is a real shame. The rest of this army left-hand flank has converged onto the Siren Dreadnought, or that tactical unit there in front of the Alpha Legion, and then the Terminators, attack unit, and the Plasma Squads have got out to try and get rid of Magnus's Royal Court there, and then the units here are focusing their fire onto those Castellax and some of the Kennetai Blades behind, and then finally the Contemptor will try and take out this unit in front of it. Alpha Legion, turn 2 shooting, starting with the Dorado Dreadnought firing into the Siren. It has Objuration Mechanicum cast upon it, so 1s will get hot, but 2s to hit. Oh, it flashed, and that is a double hit. Strength 10, front armor 13, 3s to glance, and that is a 1 glance and 1 pen.
The first invul save for the Siren Dreadnought against its glance. Ooh, and that is 1 hull point taken. And for the penetrating hit. Ooh, and that is also failed.
As the Siren Dreadnought exploded, the blast radius was 7 inches and killed 1 of the 1,000 Suns. 8 Alpha Legion were also caught in the blast, and 2 lost their lives. The ALOS missile launcher did declare that it was going to shoot against the Siren Dreadnought to double finish it off, but it wasn't required, so the shot is wasted. The Tactical Marines that disembarked from the Rhino will fire into the 1,000 Suns veterans ahead of them. There is 16 shots and require 3s to hit. That is not a bad round of shooting, only failing 3. 4s to wounds from bolt guns. Wow, that is really good. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 wounds onto the 1,000 Suns.
There are 3 Marines between the firing Alpha Legion and the Sergeants. We'll take these 3 at a time. 3 up armor saves. And that is 2 of them killed. Now down to 1 at a time for the last remaining Marine. 3+. Oh, and he is also killed. Now these are onto the Sergeant with his Artificer armor of 2+. That's a pass. That's a pass. The final 2 wounds spilling onto the 3+ armor saves of the remainder of the squad. Oh, 1 flash, but those 2 wounds are saved.
There are also 2 shots from the pintle-mounted combi bolters on top of the Rhino there with 2 hits. 4s to wound. That is 1 wound.
Still on a 3+ armor save. And with a 1, that is a fail.
The other Rhino will also fire into the veteran squad. Twin-linked. And then 4s to wound. Yeah, that's a wound.
And 1 final armor save for the squad on 3+. Ooh, and that is also saved.
The newly arrived Saboteur will fire his combi melter into the veteran squad in front of him. Hitting on 2s with his combi melter. That is hit, and it is just a 2 to kill. Lovely. There are also 2 shots from the Contemptor Dreadnought with his inbuilt melter guns, requiring 2s to hit. That's a further 2 hits, lovely. And then again, 2s to kill. There is a cock dice there. Oh, yeah, lovely. 2 more go down. Moving on to the falchion, it targets its main armament at the Kennetai blades behind the Castellax, clipping the Castellax with a hit, which is fantastic. So we've gone to the Destroyer chart. Anything but lovely, so that will suffer D3 wounds.
There is, however, an invul save on the Castellax. Ooh, very close to a 5, but unfortunately no.
All right, and we'll suffer D3 wounds. Lovely, that is 3. Castellax suffers 3 wounds, but it's only blast, so it will clip the closest model and will reduce it to 1 wound remaining. 6 of the Kennetai blades were clipped by the blast, so anything but a 1 will kill them outright. No, and that's lovely. That is 6 Kennetai killed. 1 of the Quadlax cannons will fire into the Castellax unit, while the other one that will fire into the Sekhmet, but we'll try the Castellax first. 2 shots, twin-linked. Twin-linked, lovely. No, that is a miss, unfortunately. It's 2s to wound the Castellax. Oh, that's a 1. Firing the left-hand sponson into the Terminators. There is a -1 to hit because Magnus is in the unit, so needing 4s. Okay, lovely. That is a double hit. And 2s to wound. Oh, steady there. So that is 2 Strength 9 AP2 wounds.
Onto the 3+ invul saves for both the lead Terminators here. Ooh, 1 is saved, however 1 is killed outright.
Moving on to the Proteus, it can fire at full effect as it was stationary. So we'll first of all fire its 2 twin-linked las cannons into the Castellax directly ahead of it. It is twin-linked. Come on. Lovely. 2s to wound. Oh, lovely. That is 2 wounds.
The Castellax do, however, still have their 5-up invul save. Oh, and both of those are passed.
There is a multi-melter that will hit on a 3. Oh, of course it misses, of course. The Vindicator siege tank will also fire into the Castellax. It will use its overcharge fire. So on a 1, it will take a bit of damage, which it doesn't. 3s to hit, but it is twin-linked. That is very much needed with a double 1. Lovely, that's exactly what we wanted to see. Now 2s to wound. Yes, lovely, 3 wounds.
The Castellax have been lucky with their invulnerable save so far. 3 more 5s would be excellent. Oh, and the 2 of them there, that does stop 1 Castellax from dying.
Moving on to Magnus and his unit, trying to deplete those Terminators as much as possible, starting with the Rhino, the transport for the support Marines. 4s to hit due to Phantasmal Aura, but thankfully they are twin linked. And that is only 1 hit, and 4s to wound. No, that's a fail. The Plasma Support Squad will also fire into Magnus's unit. We did this off camera, but you can see the dice rolls there. So there were 4 gets hot. This one's the Sergeant, so we'll do this first. 3 up armor save. The Sergeant is killed. And then there was 3 armor saves to take from Marines, so we'll do those very quickly. Yeah, and another Marine is killed. Due to Phantasmal Aura, the Marines are looking for 4s, so there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 misses. So not a bad round of shooting. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 hits, strength 7, AP 2, 2s to wound. No 1s, please. All right, there was 1. 9 wounds in total.
With 2 Terminators between Magnus and the plasma guns, these will be taken 4 wounds at a time on the 3+ invul saves. Oh, and that is 1 wound caused. Going down to 3 of these now. Still 3+ invulnerable saves. And that is 1 Terminator killed. And the 2 final wounds on the last segment between Magnus and the plasma guns. Ooh, with 1 more wound being taken.
Moving on to the Terminators, there is a Plasma Blast Gun requiring 4s to hit. 1s will get hot. Unlucky. 2+ armor save. It is passed, thankfully. And then 2s to wound on strength 7 AP 2. That is a wound.
Still with a 3-up invul save for the lead Terminator. And that is passed.
The Heavy Flame of the Squad will clip 3 models. It's strength 5, so 3s to wound. Lovely, that is 3 wounds.
All of these onto 2+ armor saves for the squad. And all of those are passed.
There are 10 Terminators with combi bolters firing to the unit, requiring 4s, but they are twin linked. That's not bad, only 4 missed so far. Wowzers, 2 missed total, and they are strength 4, toughness 4. Oh, that is a shocker. That is 3 wounds.
3 wounds once again onto the 2+ armor save, and all passed.
The Tactical Marines that disembarked from their Rhino rapid fired into the squad with 20 shots and got 11 hits. Now these are 4s to wound. That's not bad for Marines. 3, 4, 5 wounds dealt to the unit.
All of these onto the 2+ armor saves throughout the squad. And all of those saves are passed.
The Marines armed with missile launchers had a tough decision to make between Magnus and his unit or the Castellax, but it's better they kill the Castellax. They have Objuration Mechanicum cast upon them, so 1s will get hot, and it's 3s to hit. There is 1 get hot, 3 up armor save. Lovely, he's all right. And 1 fail. 7 hits onto the Castellax, requiring 4s. They are 3s. They're toughness 7, strength 8. That is not bad. 2, 4, 5 wounds.
AP3 against the Castellax, so straight onto their 5-up invul saves. Ooh, 3 saves made, however, 2 fails is enough to wipe out the squad.
Moving on to the Destroyers and the Moritat. The Destroyers fire 2 rad missiles at the squad. Clip 2 Marines, so 4 in total. AP2 with Fleshbane, and that is 3 AP2 wounds on the unit. Those 3 wounds will kill one of those Kenetai blades.
And with 2 wounds remaining, the champion will attempt to look out Sir onto the rest of the squad. No, so he's going to have to take the first one. It's a 5-up invul save. Ooh, and he takes 1 wound. And with the final wound caused, look out Sir, and that is passed, killing 1 more Kenetai blade. The
rest of the Destroyers will fire their double bolt pistols into the squad, requiring 3s to hit. Not a bad one there. Dropping 5. They require 4s to wound. Yeah, we'll take that. That's 2, 4, 6 wounds into the squad.
Still the closest model. The champion will attempt to look out Sir these onto the rest of the squad. The first attack is a 2 onto a 3+ armor save. Out of the tray. And that is passed. The next wound, we're still looking for a look out Sir, is passed onto 3+. That is passed. Look out Sir again. And that is failed onto his own 2+ armor save. And he passes. 3 wounds remaining now. There is still looking at Sir. Still and onto a 3+ armor save. That is passed. Look at Sir. 3+ armor save. Passed. Final wound. Looking at Sir. And a 3+ armor save. And that is passed.
Holy hell. It looks like the Moritat will have to finish the job, so we'll fire his left-hand plasma pistol first. On 1 or 2 it gets hot. Let's see how we get on. So that is a hit. Lovely. 3. 4. Okay, so it does get hot. He does get a 3-up armor save, however. Lovely, and he is passed. So from that plasma pistol, there are 4 shots. Moving on to the other one, let's see how we can get here. That's 1 more hit. Okay, so that is a get hot, but it will hit because he's BS5. He will require an armor save though, because it gets hot, and that has been passed. So in total, there are 6 wounds. Strength 7, 2s to wound. Lovely, 7 AP2s. That should wipe the squad.
The champion, the only remaining model in this squad with an invulnerable save, will attempt to take all 7 on his 5-up refractor field save. And 3 are made, however, 4 wounds is still enough to wipe out the squad.
Alpha Legion, turn to assault phase. The Contemptor will charge. The veterans in front of it is a 5-inch charge through cover. However, it does not matter. That is a 7, and it makes it in. There is a Hammer Wrath attack that will wound on a 2. Lovely.
It is over onto a 3+ armor save. And that is 1 Marine killed.
Striking Initiative 4, 2 close combat weapons, 3s to hit with the Contemptor. Looking for a good score here. Yes. There's a full complement, and then 2s to kill. There's always a double 1 in there, right? So that is 3 killed Thousand Suns.
The 3 remaining Marines will attempt to use their melter bombs on the Contemptor Dreadnought, hitting on 4s. Oh, that is a miserable roll. Veterans, however, with Stubborn and Magnus in the field, a leadership test against leadership 10. And that is a 10. However, they will remain on the board.
Now for the big charge in the centre of the board. The Tartarus Pattern Terminators and the Praetor will charge Magnus and his Sekhmet. However, there is Overwatch to resolve.
Yep, Magnus is the only model in the squad not equipped with Cataphractic Terminator armor. Will fire a Sci-Fi Serpenter with D3 hits. D3 shots, rather. So that is 2 dice hitting on 6s. Oh, and unfortunately, no fire.
All right, big charge. 5 is required. Look at that. That is a positively big 12.
At the beginning of combat, Magnus will declare a challenge against the enemy Terminators.
The challenge was accepted by the Tartarus Terminator Sergeant.
First to fight, at initiative step 6, Magnus attacks the Terminator Sergeant with 4 attacks hitting on 3s. And with 3 1s, an incredible roll there. However, the Chaplain does confer Zealot, allowing rerolls, still hitting on 3s. And that is 2 more hits, 1 miss, however. These are 2s to wound, AP2. Oh, there's always a 1 in there. However, that is 2 wounds caused.
All right, let's see if the Sergeant can save on his Terminator armor on a 5+. Oh, yes, he can. And there is 1 more. Go on, son. No, and it does kill the Sergeant. Striking at Initiative 5, the Alpha Legion Praetor will go in with 7 attacks on the charge and will require 3s to hit. That is not bad. There is a master-crafted weapon in there, Paragon Blade. And that is all hit. Fantastic. Strength 5, toughness 4, 3s to wound, 6 is a murderous strike. There is none, unfortunately, and that is a ton of 2s. What a shame. So 2 AP2.
These are, however, onto the 3+ invulnerable save for the lead Sekhmet. Oh, and that is 1 passed, 1 failed. Next, the Thousand Suns Praetor, also at initiative 5 attacks, 5 of his own, hitting on 3s. Oh, and still re-rolling thanks to Zealot. Oh, that is excellent. Wounding on 3s as well, with his Paragon Blade. That is 1 wound failed, and that is 4 wounds caused.
These wounds will go on to the majority of the squad, so 5-up invulnerables to save. That is the first one passed. Fail. Pass. Okay, so 2 Terminators fall.
Also at initiative 5, there is a Chaplain with 1,000 Suns with 3 attacks of his own, hitting on 3s. Ooh, 1 hit. He has, however, given himself Zealot conveniently. That is still 1 miss, 1 hit. Strength 6 with his Power Maul against the enemy Terminators. So wounding on 2s. And that is 2 wounds caused with AP4.
All right, 2-up armor saves required. Save both. Lovely. There are 3 attacks from a Terminator arm with a Lightning Claw requiring 4s to hit. 2 hits, not bad. Strength 4 with Shred. And that is 2 AP3s. Shred, sorry, there was a 3 in there. Yep, that's 2 wins at AP3.
These onto the 2+ armor saves of the Sekhmet. And both of those are saved. Also at initiative step 4, there are 4 attacks from the 2 Sekhmet equipped with 4 swords. Hitting on 4s. That is 3 hits and a 1. Rerolled thanks to Zealot. Or doesn't get a hit. And then they will be wounding on 4s. And that is another 1, but that is 2 wounds caused.
2 up armor saves, come on, lovely. Striking initiative 1, there are 15 attacks against the units from the Alpha Legion. Due to Phantasmal Aura, there is -1 to hit, so the Terminators will hit on 5s, unfortunately. Okay, that is not good with only 2 hits. These are 2s to wound at strength 8. There's a 1 and a 2, so only 1 wound goes through.
It is with a Power Fist, so onto a 3+ invulnerable save. And that has failed. Also at Initiative 1, there are 4 attacks from the Sekhmet equipped with a Power Fist and a Chain Fist, hitting on 4s. That is 2 hits already, but with Zealot, re-rolling those 2 for 2 more hits. Excellent stuff. Also wounding on 2s. Oh, that is 3 2s and a 1. 3 wounds caused.
Let's see if the Terminators can hold out, requiring 5s on their Terminator saves. Come on, look at that, all passed, you beauty. At the end of that combat, it is drawn 3 wounds aside. Amazing. End of Alpha Legion turn 2. A really good turn. The Contemptors are gone, the Castellax are gone, the Kenetai, and a Psyker is dead. So that really helped towards the psychic pool. In the centre of the board, the Praetor and his Terminator squad has done a fantastic job holding against Magnus and doing a draw. So that is unreal. The Alpha Legion are feeling pretty good at this stage.
Thousand Suns, turn 2 movement phase. What remains of the Thousand Suns force shuffling around in the backfield, the wounded veterans moving away from the enemy lines while the plasma support squad moves up to take out those enemy tacticals. The Seekers staying in the middle, looking to either draw their fire towards the enemy destroyers or veterans, whichever survives the shooting from the other full squad of tacticals which have moved in close to those destroyers. Finally, with the last squad of veterans and Magnus and his Sekhmet stuck in combat, the Thousand Suns are very much pinned down this turn. Thousand Suns turn 2 psychic phase. Not much of a turn from the Thousand Suns here, with the vast majority of the Psychers still locked in combat with Magnus and the enemy Terminators. The first squad of Legion veterans did, however, cast Smite and Life Leech against the enemy veterans, against the enemy tacticals. However, only Smite hit, killing 1 Marine. Down at the other end of the table, the third squad of veterans managed to cast Warp Speed on themselves in addition to casting Smite on the enemy destroyers, killing 2. Thousand Suns turn 2 shooting phase. Opening volley with the squad of Legion veterans attacking the enemy destroyers with their bolt pistols. There are 10 shots, hitting on 3s. Ooh, 1 cocked die, hopefully not a 1. Excellent, only 2 misses. Not too bad. They are looking for 4s to wound. Ooh. 1 cocked. Oh, that's not a wound. That is 3 failed to wound and 5 wounds caused.
3 up armor save on those destroyers. Come on. Lovely.
The Thousand Suns plasma support squad firing their plasma guns into the enemy tacticals in front of the Rhino. Only 2 hits. There was 1 get hot, however the armor save was passed. Looking for 2s to kill. And that is 2 dead enemy Marines. The Seekers leveling their bolt guns and firing Scorpius bolt shells at the enemy tacticals. There are 10 shots hitting on 2s. Oh, that is only 1 miss. Excellent stuff. Strength 5 against Toughness 4. They're looking for 3s to wound. And that is only 4 wounds. Wow, what a roll. They are, however, AP 2.
There's a 5 up cover thanks to that Dreadnought requiring 5s. Oh, 3 are dead.
And last to 5 for the Thousand Suns this turn. The 3 remaining Legion veterans will also fire, rapid firing into those enemy Marines with 6 shots hitting on 3s. That is 1 miss. Good stuff. 4s to wound. There's 1 cocked die. Oh, and that is unfortunately a fail. 2 wounds caused.
3 up armor saves. Oh, lovely. Elite ship is required. There's only 2 Marines left. The Sergeant is still in there. And thankfully has passed.
Thousand Suns turn 2 assault phase. The Legion veterans declaring a charge against the enemy destroyers.
Yeah, there's Overwatch. 6 Marines with bolt pistols. 2 each requiring 6s. That is 1 hit. Lovely. 4s to wound. Negative.
And the Marines are looking for a 3-inch charge. They do however have fleet if they need a reroll. But with an 11, they definitely do not. Striking at initiative 7, there were 60 attacks from the 10 veteran tacticals thanks to Warp Speed. After adding up all the attacks, there were 28 hits. Moving on to 4s to wound. 14. Exactly half.
14 3 up armor saves to save. There are 6 before the Moritat, so doing these first. So lose 2. Now another 4 before the Moritat. Oh, that's another 2 dead. 2 more before the Moritat. Oh, geez. 1 more dead. Okay, now we'll roll these individually. I know it's a pain, but it's got to be done. Yeah, that's fine. And then 1 more Destroyer falls. Initiative 5, the Moritat will attack back, hitting on 4s. That is only 1 hit. Strength 4, toughness 4. That is 1 wound.
Onto a 3+ armor save. And that is passed.
Alright, and then there are 2 attacks back on the from the squad. 2 hits, lovely. 4s to wound. No, that is nothing. The unit has lost the combat by a difference of 6. Using the leadership of 9 of the Moritat, they will require 3 or less on 2 dice. They have failed. Initiative 5 from the Moritat plus 3 is 8.
And the initiative 4 from the veterans with +1 thanks to their biomancy power. Oh, and they sweep the enemy destroyers. Following that combat, there is a D6 consolidation move from those veterans, moving 5 inches. Moving on to the ongoing combat between the veterans and the enemy Contemptor.
Yeah, the Contemptor will strike initiative 4 with 4 attacks, requiring 3s. Yes. 2s to kill. Hopefully it'll save it. It does, and that kills the remaining squad. After winning the combat, the Dreadnought consolidates 6 inches.
Finally moving to the combat between Magnus and the Sekhmet against the enemy Terminators. Magnus has once again issued a challenge.
It has been answered by the Alpha Legion Praetor.
Striking first at initiative 6, Magnus has 4 attacks, hitting on 3s. Oh, and that is an incredible roll from Magnus. He will be instant deathing the Praetor on 2s. And that is 4 instant deaths.
The Praetor has an Iron Halo. How many 4-ups can he roll? Come on. And he's dead on the first one. The wounds then spill over into Terminators and they require 5s. Oh no, that is a sad time, and 2 more Terminators are killed.
Next at initiative 5, the Thousand Suns Praetor has 5 attacks, hitting on 3s. We're re-rolling one of those with his Mastercrafted Paragon Blade. That is another hit. Strength 5 against Toughness 4, wounding on 3s at AP 2. Oh, would you believe that? That is only 1 wound caused.
5-up Tartarus Pattern Terminator, come on. No, kills a Terminator.
Also striking at initiative 5, the Chaplain in the squad has 3 attacks, hitting on 3s. Oh, that is only 1 hit. Strength 6 against Toughness 4, looking for 2s to wound, and that is 1 wound caused.
Alright, 2-up armor save for the Terminators. Oh, lovely.
There's 1 Sekhmet with a 4 sword attacking at initiative 4. 2 attacks hitting on 4s. Ooh, and that is 2 misses.
1 Alpha Legion Terminator is armed with Lightning Claws, striking initiative 4, 2 attacks. Phantasmal Aura, so hitting on 5s. No, nothing.
And finally, there is a single Chain Fist and Power Fist remaining in the Sekhmet. They are striking 4 attacks at initiative 1, hitting on 4s. That is 2 hits. 2s to kill. 2s to wound at least.
5-up Tartarus. No, and that does kill 2 Terminators. However, they will get a chance to attack back. 5s to hit thanks to Phantasmal Aura. 1 hit. 2s to wound. Oh, lovely.
There's onto a 3-up invul save for one of the Sekhmet, and that is passed.
The Alpha Legion have lost that combat and will require a double 1 to stay in combat. Oh no, they have failed. The Thousand Suns contains Cataphracti, so they cannot sweep, and so the Terminator will fall back. Oh, look at that, 8 inches to fight another day.
Having finally smashed their way through the enemy Terminators, Magnus and his Sekhmet consolidate 6 inches. End of turn 2 for the Thousand Suns. What would have been nice to keep that combat in the middle of the board going, just to protect Magnus and the Sekhmet for a further turn. They have, however, managed to clear their way through the enemy Terminators without too many casualties. The rest of the board, however, unfortunately the Thousand Suns are not looking in a great position as the Alpha Legion get to push at them against this in the following turn. The veterans especially out of place as that Contemptor closes in. Meanwhile, at the back of the board, the Seekers and the Plasma Support Squad drawing line of sight on those enemy tacticals.
Alpha Legion turn 3 movement, starting with the Tartarus Terminator, unfortunately failed his leadership test and ran back a further 8 inches. Other than that, the entire army, apart from 3 units, has turned to face Magnus and his court, hoping to bring the remainder of those Terminators down, leaving Magnus on his own. Finally, on this side of the flank, the Contemptor and the Saboteur have advanced to take on another squad. Alpha Legion turn 3 shooting phase, starting with the 2 Tactical Marines firing to the veterans on top of that rock, firing their bolt pistols as they intend to charge. 3s to hit. Lovely. 4s to wound. That is 1 wound.
And that is onto a 3+ armor save for the veteran tacticals. And that is passed.
Those 2 runners will also pour their firepower into that veteran unit, hitting on 3s, but they are twin linked. Nice. 4 hits and requiring 4s to wound. Yes, 3 wounds.
And still 3 up armor saves for the veteran tacticals. Oh, 2 pass, and that is 1 fail, 1 dead Marine. They are stubborn. Magnus is still alive, but for their leadership test, they need a 10 or less. That is 5, they are fine.
The 10-man tactical squad at the foot of the hill looking up at the Thousand Suns will rapid fire their bolters into that unit, requiring 3s to hit, only dropping 1. Correction, it was 4s to hit due to Phantasmal Aurora, but it doesn't matter because there was all 4s to hit. Now we'll do it again because there was obviously 10 shots less. Yeah, that's not too bad. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 15 hits in total. 4s to wound from bolt guns. We all know a bolt gun is the best way to kill a Terminator. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7 wounds onto that unit.
As there is 1 segment between these Marines and a character, these will be taken 2 at a time. A 2 up armor save. Both passed. Oh, 1 wound taken. And that is another, killing 1 segment. And the last wound will be taken on the Chaplain with 2+ armor save, and that is passed.
Moving on to the Derridero firing into the same unit. Starting off with the Heavy Bolter, 2s to hit. 3s to hit due to Phantasmal Aura, but they all hit on 3 6s. That is impressive. Requiring 3s to wound, strength 5, toughness 4. That is 3 wounds.
Once again, there is a single segment between the Praetor and this fire. He will take these wounds first on 2+ armor save. There's the first 2 passed, and the second.
Moving on to the las cannons, hitting on 2 3s, 2 hits, 2s to wound, that is 2, strength 9 AP, 2 wounds.
Bypassing the Terminator armor, these are however onto the 3+ invulnerables for the same segment. Ooh, and that is 1 wound. Oh, that is 1 wound passed, which instant deaths the Terminator.
The ILOS missile launcher will also fire into the same unit, 2s to hit. 3s to hit, keep getting that wrong. 1 hit and 2s to wound. Oh, that's a shocker. The Falchion fired its twin-linked volcano cannon into Magnus and his unit, scattered the first time, but it was twin-linked and hit the second and clipped everybody in the squad. So we're going to roll on the destroy table for all the models individually and applying the results. So we'll start with the Chaplain. Okay, that's not a bad start. He will suffer D3 auto wounds instead of 1. And that's 1 wound. There is an invulnerable save.
Yep, the Chaplain also has a 3+ invulnerable with his Terminator armor. Ooh, and that instant deaths the Chaplain.
Moving on to the Praetor. Oh yeah, he suffers D3. Let's have a little roll. And that is 2 wounds.
Once again, the Praetor will need to make his invulnerable save to survive this. 3 or more. Ooh, and the Praetor survives.
And then moving on to the Sekhmet. Okay, that is another D3 wounds. And it will cause 1 if it goes through.
He only has 1 left. It'll be instant death anyway. Another 3+ invulnerable save. Oh, and that is the Sekhmet killed also.
Moving on to Magnus, let's see what damage we can inflict on him. Okay, that is only potentially D3 wounds. Let's roll it though. Okay, it is 3 wounds. However, Magnus does have a rule that reduces this by 1, so potentially 2 wounds if he doesn't save.
Yep, Magnus has only a 4-up invul save, unlike the rest of the squad. Ooh, and that passes.
Move on to the side sponsons, the Quadlas cannons, 4 shots, twin linked, requiring 4s to hit. Holy hell. Okay, not a bad recovery there. Strength 9, AP 2, 2s to wound. Yeah, and that will go straight into the Praetor to begin with.
Each of these will be instant death, so they'll be rolled individually onto the 3+ invul save of the Praetor. The first one passed. The second passed. And the third, all of them taken.
Moving on to the Plasma Support Squad. 3 are the closest target to the Praetor. The other 5 are the closest to Magnus. So we'll start with the 3 on the Praetor. We did this off camera because it gets hot and only 2 hit. Strength 7 versus the highest toughness, which is 6 now, as there's only 2 models left in the squad. And will require 3s to wound. That is 1 wound to AP 2.
Once again, onto the 3+ invul save of the Praetor. Ooh, and that is another save passed.
Okay. The remainder of the squad will then fire into Magnus, as he's the closest target. 10 shots, 2 missed, 1 got hot, but was saved, and now 3s to wound from those plasma. That's not too bad. That is 5 wounds.
With 5 AP2 wounds, Magnus is going to attempt to look out Sir onto the Praetor with his better invulnerable save. The first shot passes to the Praetor on a 3+ invul. Ooh, there is 1 wound caused. The next, also looking at Sir, that is pass to the Praetor, 3+ invul. Oh, snake eyes there. Alright, Magnus will attempt to take the rest of these himself. He has a 4+ invul save.
Wow.
That's some miserable rolling there. Magnus saving 1 wound, taking 2 himself.
Let's see if those missile launchers can take down the Praetor and put some wounds onto Magnus. There are 9 of them and will require 4s to hit, thanks to Phantasmal Aura. Not too bad. 4 fail, 5 hit, and 2s to wound. Strength 8, look at that. That is 5 wounds at AP 3.
With only 1 rune remaining on the Praetor, and both of them with 2 up armor saves, this will all be taken together. Ooh, and all of those are saved.
Moving on to the laser Vindicator, it was stationary and will fire 3 shots into the unit there. 4s to hit, twin linked. Ooh, need that twin linked, come on. Okay, that is 2 hits. However, you just need to check that the vehicle doesn't cause itself any damage on a roll of a 1. Oh, it does. That is unlucky. However, that is 2 hits and 2s to wound. Lovely.
As the Praetor is still closer to the Laser Destroyer, these will be taken on as 3+ invul save first. First is passed, and so is the second.
The Proteus moved 6 inches, so we'll snap shoot the multi-melter into Magnus and the Praetor. That has failed, and now we'll fire normally and power Machine Spirit with the other, hitting on 4s. Yes, and 2s to wound. Come on.
As Magnus is the closest model, unwilling to risk the life of the Praetor on this one, he'll take both of these wounds himself on a 4+ invul. Ooh, 1 passed, 1 failed. 1 more wound for Magnus.
Moving away from the action in the centre of the board, the Saboteur will fire his bolt pistol into the veteran unit, requiring 2s to hit and 4s to wound. That is a wound.
That's a 3+ armor save for the lead veteran. And that is passed.
All right. The Contemptor will fire his 2 melter guns in his fists at the same unit. 2s to hit, and these are 2s to kill. Oh, lovely, that's 2 gone.
As the sergeant in the squad is the closest model, he'll attempt to look out Sir onto the rest of the squad, needing a 4+. He passes the first wound on. Oh, but not the second.
Can a Rhino take a wound off Magnus? We're about to find out. 2 shots, twin linked, requiring 4s. Twin linked. Double 6, that's exactly what we need on the next roll. What are the chances? Pretty slim. Alpha Legion, turn 3 assault phase, declaring a charge with a Contemptor into the veteran unit. It's a 3-inch charge. Does have fleet, but it makes it. And then it's an 11-inch charge for the Saboteur. Go on, double 6. Oh, not too bad, but unfortunately not enough. At initiative 10, there is a Hammer Raft from the Contemptor, 2s to wound. Lovely.
And onto a 3+ armor save for one of the veterans. And unfortunately with the 2, that is another Marine kill to Hammer of Wrath.
At initiative 4, the Contemptor has 5 attacks on the charge, requiring 3s to hit. Holy hell, he's doing really well. 2s to kill. Oh my word, that is 4 dead Thousand Suns.
The 3 surviving Marines are equipped with melter bombs and will attempt to strike back at the Contemptor Dreadnought, heading on 4s. That is 2 hit. Looking for 5 on 2 dice for both of these with a melter bomb with armor bane. That is 1 penetrating hit and a glance.
All right, let's see if we can keep this Contemptor alive. He requires a 6-up for that glance. Oh, but it's the pen that we need to count. No, what happens? +2 to the result?
Oh, we need a good result here. Ah, and that unfortunately explodes. Hopefully won't kill the Thousand Suns.
The Contemptor exploded 7 inches, narrowly missing the Saboteur, but clipped 3 of the Thousand Suns, requiring 4s to wound. Yeah, 1 wound on those Marines.
And onto a 3+ armor save. Oh, finally some dice working. Having won that combat, the veterans consolidate. 2 inches.
End of Alpha Legion turn 3. A really good turn. They're clearing out most of Magnus' unit and reducing him to half wounds, and the Praetor with 1 remaining was really good. It would have been nice just to take that Praetor out, but it didn't happen. I'm not too sure what will happen with Magnus and his unit. He has a lot of options. However, on this hand side of the board, Contemptor did a fantastic job getting so far and reducing those 2 units down. So we'll see if the Saboteur can hold out against that veteran unit. And then finally, just off camera, this unit ran 1 inch in the shooting phase. But on the whole, a really good turn.
Thousand Suns, turn 3 movement phase. The veterans down the end of the squad, having destroyed the Contemptor, advancing on the enemy Saboteur. Meanwhile, the Seekers taking up position in the centre of the board to start engaging the enemy Seekers as they enter the breach. Meanwhile, Magnus and the Praetor advancing towards the falchion, while the Plasma Support Squad and veterans line up behind him, hoping to take out some of these smaller squads as the Primarch and Praetor move past. Thousand Suns, turn 3 psychic phase. Opening with Magnus, his cast Sunburst, using Mind Wrath to get a 18-inch bubble around him. The strength of the attack is 4 plus 2 for strength 6. And the number of hits is 2d6. Oh, and that is 10 hits on all the squads around him at strength 6. Beginning with this small squad of Tactical Marines, there are 10 hits, 2s to wound. And that is 10 wounds.
Unfortunately, the volume of attacks was too much and has killed the 2 remaining members of that tactical squad.
Onto the Rhinos next. The first Rhino, 10 hits on its side armor, looking for 5s or 6s. Oh, and that right there is 3 penetrating hits and 1 glance. And then onto the next Rhino, once again, there are 10 hits looking for 5s or 6s. Oh, and that is 3 penetrating hits there as well. Now onto the tac squad behind the Rhinos. 10 hits, wounding on 2s. And that is 2 1s, so 8 wounds. Next, rolling for the Plasma Support Squad. 2s to wound once again. And that is a single failed wound, so 9 caused.
After an amazing roll, every single one of those Plasma Gunner Marines passed their armor save.
There's also another Rhino to hit on the rear armor this time, so looking for 4s to damage. And that is 1, 2, 3, and 4 damage caused. Next on to the lone fleeing Terminator. 10 hits, wounding on 2s. Oh, that is another 2 1s. 3 1s, sorry. So that is 7 wounds caused.
Thankfully, the Terminator passed all of his Terminator saves.
Final squad to be hit with this power is the Heavy Support Squad up on the rock there. They are wounded on 2s. 3 1s that time. It just keeps getting worse. But that is 7 wounds caused.
Unfortunately, the Sergeant was the first to die, followed by a second Marine.
The Praetor will now attempt to cast Psychic Maelstrom over the enemy Tactical Marines, needing 3s. And that is just enough to manifest Psychic Maelstrom.
The squad will try to nullify the attack. They have Advantium Will, so 6 dice will require 5s. No, and that has failed to nullify their power.
The attack has hit. There are 8 wounds at strength 10, wounding on 2s. Oh, and there is a single 1, but that is 7 dead Marines.
Fortunately, after losing his squad, that lone Marine has passed his leadership test.
Magnus will now attempt to manifest Flame Breath against the enemy Plasma Support Squad, looking for 3s, and that is passed. 5 Marines are clipped by the Flame Breath. They are wounded on 3s at strength 5. And that is 5 wounds. Good going.
It's only AP4, so they will get their armor save. 3 up. Okay, and that is 2 Marines dead.
Last power for Magnus, who will also attempt to cast Spontaneous Combustion on the squad of Plasma Support. He's looking for 3s, and that passes. There's a strength 6 AP3 hit from this, wounding on 2s, and that kills a Marine. As the Marine explodes, he clips 4 members of his squad with a strength 5 hit, wounding on 3s. Ooh, and that is another 4 wounds caused.
3 up armor savers, the attack is only AP4 this time. Lovely, and only 1 Marine dies. A leadership test is required for that Plasma Gunner Support Squad. 8, and that is a pass.
The veteran tacticals will attempt to cast Smite against the Saboteur in front of them, looking for 3s, and that is manifested. They will be hitting on 3s. Oh, that is 1 miss, and strength 4, AP2, wounding on 4s. Oh, that is only 1 AP2 wound.
Thanks to Chameleon Line, there is a 6+ cover save. Oh, it flashed, but he does take a wound.
And the final power for the Thousand Suns this turn, the same squad of veterans will attempt to cast Warp Speed on themselves. And that passes. Thousand Suns turn 3 shooting phase. Beginning with the same squad of Legion veterans, they're going for the Saboteur. They'll be hitting him on 3s with their bolt pistols. A 1 and 2 2s. That is all 3 misses. The veteran squad of only 2 members surviving levels their bolt guns. They are within rapid fire range of the last Alpha Legion Tactical. And they have 4 shots hitting on 3s. That is 2 miss. 2 6s, not too bad though. They're looking for 4s to wound. Oh, one more wound.
Right, let's keep this Marine alive with a power armor save. Oh, he's dead.
The squad of Seekers, with another enemy target in sight, level air bolt guns firing at the Alpha Legion Seekers. There are 9 shots hitting on 2s, and that is 2 misses. Firing their Kraken bolt shells at strength 4, having for 4s to wound. Oh, that is not the best roll. Oh, 4 wounds, that's not too bad.
Alright, only one Marine is eligible to die, so let's see what happens. Oh, he does die.
With no surviving targets, the plasma gunners look to redeploy, running 1 inch. Thousand Suns turn 3 assault phase. The 3 veterans declaring a charge against the enemy saboteur.
Yeah, there's Overwatch from the saboteur, 2 shots on 6s. Nope.
And not needing much more than 3 inches for this, the veterans more than make it in. Thanks to warp speed, the veterans are attacking at initiative 7 with 15 attacks between the 3 of them, hitting on 4s. Oh, that's not too bad, a roll 1, 2, 3. With only 7 misses, there's 8 hits, wounding on 4s. Oh, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 wounds caused.
Artificer armor on that saboteur. Let's see if he can stay alive. He does. Lovely. Also, strike initiative 4. The saboteur will attack with 3 attacks. Weapon skill 5, hitting on 3s. Sorry, not also the Thousand Suns. They were attacking initiative 7 thanks to warp speed. However, that is 3 hits. Strength 4, toughness 4, 4s to wound. Oh, and that combat is a stalemate.
Magnus and the Praetor have also declared a charge against the enemy plasma gunners, unwilling to stay out in the open the following turn.
Alright, let's see if we can get 1 wound off Magnus at least. So we'll start from front to back. Gets hot, requiring 6s. Oh, there's 1 already. Nice. 1 gets hot, 3 up armor save. And he's fine. Double 6. Oh, but there is a 6. Oh, that is great. 3 6s. Strength 7, toughness 6. 3s to wound. That is 2 wounds at AP 2.
Both of these will be taken on Magnus on his 4-up invul save. Oh, 1 passed, 1 failed, 1 wound caused. Magnus and the Praetor do have to make an 8-inch charge. He is, however, fleet. Ooh, fortunately though, that first roll is enough to get them into combat. Striking first at initiative 6, Magnus is kind of hoping, however, that he doesn't wipe the squad here, but he is hitting on 3s. Oh, 2 miss, but he'll be wounding on 2s and instant killing. That is 3 dead Marines. With so many Marines dead, the Praetor is unable to reach combat.
At initiative 4, the Plasma Gunner Marine has managed to pile into combat and made contact with the Praetor. He has failed the leadership test required as per fear and will require a 6 to hit thanks to the -1 from Magnus, and that has failed. The Alpha Legion have lost the combat by a difference of 3. However, if the Marine passes the leadership test, that locks Magnus in for another turn, and the Alpha Legion are unable to shoot. So it's crucial that the Alpha Legion fail this and require a 4 or less. Come on, double 6. Oh, thankfully they fail. Fall back 2d6. Look at that.
Having won that combat, however, Magnus and the Praetor will consolidate 6 inches. And at the end of the turn, Magnus will attempt his It Will Not Die roll. And with a 5, that does regenerate 1 more wound, putting him back to 3. End of turn 3 for the Thousand Suns, and things are not looking brilliant. Magnus managing to wipe out most of that plasma squad this turn. Unfortunately, however, unable to seal the deal, leaving 1 Marine alive. On the rest of the board, the Thousand Suns are hiding from the big guns of the Alpha Legion, while down at the far end of the table, the veterans remain locked in combat with that saboteur.
Alpha Legion turn 4 movement phase. The Terminator rallied and moved forward 3 inches, but unfortunately the Marine here failed his leadership test and ran a further 4 inches. Other than that, the only 2 units to move was the Falchion and the Proteus tank, bringing their guns to bear on Magnus and the Praetor. Alpha Legion turn 4 shooting phase, starting with the Seekers. They are going to fire into Magnus and the Praetor. Their mark for death unit was the Terminators, but unfortunately they have died, so no rerolls here. But they will require needing 3s to hit. Okay, that's not too bad. Failing 3, so that is 4. That is 5 hits and requiring 5s to wound at AP 2. Oh, that is 3 AP 2s. Lovely.
With only 1 wound remaining on the Praetor and 3 left on Magnus, the Praetor will attempt to take these wounds on his invul save, first of all, on a 3+, and the Praetor dies to the first shell. The last 2 onto Magnus with his 4+ invul save, Oh, and he passes both of them.
The Proteus will now fire into Magnus, who is on his own. It did move, so we'll snap shoot the multi-melter to begin with. That fails. Power the Machine Spirit for one of the twin linked Las. Hits, and the other one firing normally is twin linked. Out of the dice tray. Yep, that is a hit. Now 2s to wound. Oh, cock dice and a 1. Lovely, 1 wound.
And Magnus's 4+ invul save. Oh, has failed. He has 2 wounds remaining.
Time for the missile launchers to shine. Can they take some wounds off Magnus? 4s to hit. Oh, geez, not with that he won't. 3, and then 2s to wound. Okay, 2 wounds.
This time Magnus does have his 2+ armor save. Oh, and he's passed both of those.
The Marine arm with the Plasma Gunner, who is falling back, can snap shoot whilst doing so. And 1 hit. Lovely. Strength 7, toughness 6, 3s to wound. Oh, sad times. The Laser Vindicator Destroyer will try his 3 shots, but first of all, let's see if any damage is incurred. Oh, thankfully, lovely. All right, so 3 shots twin linked, requiring 4s. Twin linked. Lovely. 2s to wound. Strength 9. There's always a 1.
And these bypass the armor save onto his 4+ invulnerable. Oh, and that is Magnus killed.
The Falchion will target its sponson left quad-blast cannon into the Marines armed with plasma guns. Now Magnus has died. So 3s to hit, twin linked. Oof, needing that twin linked. Yep, that's 1. And 2s to wound. There is a cover save of 5 up.
Yep, for the lead plasma gunner. And a 1 will not cut it.
The Derridero only has 1 target to fire at, which is from the ALOS missile launcher into the 2 Marines through the Alpha Legion Rhinos there. 2s to hit. Lovely. And it is 2s to kill, being strength 6, AP 3. Double 1. Unbelievable. Alpha Legion turn 4 assault phase. The only combat of this turn is the Saboteur against the Veterans.
Yep, still with warp speed enabled, the Veterans are attacking at initiative 7 with 15 attacks between the 3 of them. Oh, there's 1 cocked die there. And there's another 1, unfortunate. And that is 7 miss, leaving 8 hits. They'll be wounding on 4s. Oh, not a great... Oh, 4 wounds. 4 wounds is half.
All right, let's see if the Saboteur can do it again. 2 up armor save. He does. Lovely stuff. The Saboteur will strike back at initiative 4. 3 attacks requiring 4s. 2 hits this time and 4s to wound. Oh, nothing again. Wow, what a stalemate. End of Alpha Legion turn 4. Well, it has to be said, a really good turn. Taking out Magnus and the Praetor was really good work. They didn't stand a chance against that overwhelming firepower. However, it was really lovely to see it come off. Now the Alpha Legion need to turn the focus to these 3 units left over on the other side of the board here. So the next turn or so will be spent reshuffling and bringing their weapons to bear.
Thousand Suns turn 4 movement phase. Definitely feeling the hurt after the loss of Magnus. The remaining Thousand Suns moving into cover behind the rocks, looking to survive the turns of shooting from the Alpha Legion. Thousand Suns turn 4 psychic phase. The squad of Veterans managing to cast warp speed on themselves. There's a huge dice pool, full 6 for the Alpha Legion this turn, and the Thousand Suns managed to trick them into only using half of their Dispel dice before ending the phase. Thousand Suns turn 4 shooting phase. With no targets on the board, the surviving Thousand Suns are mostly running for cover. The Veterans running 2 inches. Also looking to avoid enemy fire, the Seekers run 6 inches. Also looking to move further out of line of sight, the Plasma Support Squad runs 5 inches. Really hoping to finish this combat this turn, the Veterans are still attacking at initiative 7 with 15 attacks thanks to warp speed, hitting on 4s. With 7 misses, 8 hits. Looking for 4s to wound. Only 3 wounds this time for the Artificer armor saves.
All right, let's see if the Saboteur can do it 3 times in a row. Go on, son. No, and he does die this turn.
Having finally killed that Saboteur, the Veterans consolidate 6 inches. End of turn 4 for the Thousand Suns, and what remains of the army is definitely in hiding now. The remains of the Veterans, Plasma Supports and Seekers, all hiding from the Alpha Legion's long-range firepower.
Alpha Legion turn 5. There's not many targets left, so what is left on the board is trying to just take out some units to get those blood feud targets for the end of the game. However, the Dorado is probably in the best position to pour firepower down those 2 Marines. The Falchion unfortunately won't have a target, but moved 12. The Plasma Gunner Marine rallied, and the Tartarus Pattern Terminator moved up 6 inches. The Seekers there would love to have got back in a transport as the Proteus has breached through the Great Divide there, but unfortunately couldn't make it, so it was better to take the Proteus through there on his own. And then finally, the Laser Vindicator Destroyer has moved around to try, maybe in the next turn or so, to draw some firepower onto those veterans. Alpha Legion turn 5 shooting phase. The Terminator has ran forward 5 inches. The Proteus is going to move flat out another 6 inches. The Vindicator Destroyer also flats out 6 inches. The Seekers also ran forward a mighty 2 inches. The first of 2 units to shoot, or starting with the Derridero Dreadnought, will fire its twin-linked heavy bolters into the Marines directly ahead of it, behind those Rhinos. Twin-linked, lovely. 3s to wound, that is 2 wounds.
The Marines do have a 3-up armor save, and unfortunately that kills 1.
The Airloss Missile Launcher will also have a go into the unit, 3 shots. That is 3 hits, 2s to wound at AP3. Oh, lovely, 2 wounds.
The Lone Marine has gone to ground for a 3-up cover save. Oh, and that kills him.
The Missile Launcher armed Marines managed to fire 3 crack missiles into the Seekers far over the other side of the board. 2 hit and 2 wounded, but a cover save was made for one of them, but 1 was killed. End of Alpha Legion, turn 5. A really good effort there. Taking out that unit has scored the Alpha Legion another blood feud point, and the army has moved quite aggressively to maybe draw some firepower on in their 6th and final turn.
Thousand Sons turn 5 movement phase. Fearing the incoming Alpha Legion attack, the Thousand Sons have moved to try and keep as little line of sight as possible. The Plasma Support Squad have spread out, expecting the incoming Volcano Cannon attack from the Falchion. Meanwhile, the Seekers have run past the Land Raider, hoping to keep line of sight from that Missile Heavy Support Squad. Down at the far end of the board, however, the Veterans remain hunkered down behind their rock, hoping that the Venator and the Seekers will not be able to reach them in the final game turn. Thousand Sons turn 5 shooting phase. With no targets worth shooting at, the Seekers have run 1 inch. End of turn 5 for the Thousand Sons, and what remains of the army is braced and ready for the final turn of shooting from the Alpha Legion, hoping that no more units will be lost to concede any more victory points. But with no shooting, no psychic phase, the Thousand Sons are definitely on the back foot.
Alpha Legion turn 6 movement. The Laser Vindicator Destroyer has moved full 12 inches and will snap shoot into those remaining veterans. The Seekers have come over that rock, but unfortunately can't bring any weapons to bear on that unit. The Land Raider Proteus has made way and will fire its complement of shooting attacks into the unit, and will allow the Missile Launcher Marines to fire into them. Also, looking on this side of the board here, the Terminator and the Falchion have moved around, trying to draw a line of sight onto any targets. And then finally, the Derridero has moved position and will try and fire down range into the Seekers. Alpha Legion turn 6 shooting phase, starting with the Laser Vindicator Destroyer snap shooting one of its weapons into that unit, and that has failed. It is twin linked. Come on, lucky 6. Oh no. The Proteus will snap shoot its melter into those Seekers on a 6. Oh. A Power Machine Spirit for the las cannon, twin linked, and the other one shooting at normal, twin linked. Oh, 2s to kill. That is 1 Seeker dead. The missile launchers on top of that rock will fire through the gap past their Proteus and into the Seekers. There are 6 within range, require 3s to hit. That is 3 hits so far. 2s to wound being strength 8 AP3, that's 3 wounds.
However, thanks to the Proteus, there is a 5-up cover save. Oh, and that is 3 Marines killed.
The Derridero will fire its Alos Missile Launcher at the Seekers on the far end of the board, as that's the only one in range. 2s to hit. Oh, there's always a 1. And 2s to kill, being strength 6 AP3. That is 2 dead Seekers.
The closest Marine is killed. However, behind him is the Sergeant with his Artificer armor save. And of course it's a 1. The Sergeant is also killed.
End of turn 6 for the Alpha Legion. They have done everything they could possibly do. Unfortunately, the Falchion could not draw a bead onto any of the Thousand Suns unit, and the Seekers, unfortunately for the Alpha Legion, have passed their leadership test. So let's see what the Thousand Suns can do in their final turn.
Turn 6 movement phase for the Thousand Suns. With the final game turn in play, the Thousand Suns are feeling a lot more brave, pushing out of their cover, looking to try and take out some of the stragglers of the Alpha Legion. The Plasma Support's taking on that Terminator. Meanwhile, the Seekers and Veterans moving out of their cover to try and kill those enemy Seekers with a combined shooting and psychic and assault phase, all going well. Thousand Suns turn 6 psychic phase, the only action coming from the last surviving veteran squad who cast Smite on the enemy Seekers, killing 3 Marines, and then successfully manifested Warp Speed to charge them later this turn. Thousand Suns turn 6 shooting phase, the Seekers opening up with a volley of Kraken shells against the enemy Seekers, 3 shots hitting on 2s. That is excellent, 3 hits, looking for 4s to wound. Oh, and that is 2 wounds caused.
Yeesh, 3 up armor saves. Oh, 1 has died.
Also looking to soften up that squad before they charge into combat. The 3 veterans level their bolt pistols, hitting on 3s. There's 1 miss. They're looking for 4s to wound. And that is 1 wound.
Alright, 3 up armor save. Oh, he does die, increasing their charge. A leadership test is required on an 8 or less. 6, they've passed.
From the 6 Marines who could draw line of sight with their plasma guns to the enemy Terminator, there were 8 hits. 2 gets hot, but all the armor saves were passed. Now they're looking for 2s to wound. And that is all 8 wounds on the Terminator.
Alright, let's see if this Terminator can be a hero with his 5-up Tartarus pattern Terminator save. Oh, it's not bad. Only failing 2. Unbelievable.
Thousand Suns turn 6 assault phase, looking to score 1 more point. Hopefully level the playing field a little bit more. The veterans declare a charge against the enemy Seekers.
Alright, the Seekers will fire a Scorpius round on Overwatch, requiring a 6. Ah, and that's failed.
The veterans require a 7-inch charge, but they do have fleet. Ooh, but that will get them into combat. Striking first at initiative 7, thanks to Warp Speed, the 3 veterans have 18 attacks between them. Hitting on 4s. 1 out of the tray. Ooh, and that is not a great roll. A lot of 1s, 2s, and 3s there, and that is 8 hits made. The 8 hits, they're looking for 4s to wound. Not too bad there, only 3 failing to wound, and that is 5 wounds caused.
5 3-up armor saves. Come on, Seekers. Oh, jeez. That kills 3. The Alpha Legion Seeker will attack back at initiative 4 with 1 attack requiring 4s to hit, 4s to wound. Ah, wasn't meant to be.
The Thousand Suns have won that combat by a difference of 3, so this Alpha Legion Seeker will need a leadership test of 4 or less.
Come on, Seekers. Oh, double 1. Fantastic.
Unfortunately, the Seekers survive and continue the combat. The Thousand Suns do not score a victory point. And at the end of Thousand Suns turn 6, that is the end of the game. The Thousand Suns have done a decent job of trying to score a few last-minute victory points. However, due to the death of Magnus as the Warlord, the Thousand Suns no longer able to sweep in advance. They needed to kill that last Marine in combat. Unfortunately, unable to secure that one last point. We'll now go to the victory points, tally them up, and we'll see you guys in a minute. Well, how about that? That was a little bit brutal, but 22-14, I honestly, it felt like the gulf was a little bit bigger for those last couple of turns.
Yeah, I think what swung it was the awful psychic phase Magnus had in the first turn. The
first turn should have been brutal, but failing as Melter Power, failing as Nova Power, and then really just left too much open to shoot back that following turn.
Yeah, I think that was a little tough. Obviously, I was absolutely sweating going into this game. I was very, very worried. However, I was confident, kind of, because I had the Falchion, but really, Falchion didn't really do that much.
No, in the grand scheme of things, neither Magnus nor the Falchion did a huge amount of lifting.
Yeah.
Especially in the first couple of turns, I think the Falchion managed to do a couple of wounds on the Castellax.
Yes.
And kill half the Kennetai blades, but those were not the high priority targets.
Yeah, absolutely. The action really happened in the centre of the board. You know, the Predator from the Alpha Legion died really early along with those Terminators, and it took an absolute ton of firepower to get rid of those 2 wound 3-up invulnerable save Terminators.
Yeah, so the segment, they're incredibly tough nuts to crack, especially only 6 of them, along with the adjoining characters, of course, but that's still a lot of really high toughness models to get through.
Yeah, it did go the full distance. It wasn't a wipeout, so that was a great relief. But it was an absolutely thrilling game all the way through, and I really, really enjoyed it.
And certainly, yeah, Magnus's one turn of getting off the Psychic Power, the Shockwave, or Sunburst, sorry. It really showed how much he could have done from that first turn had things gone a little differently with some of those early rolls. Yeah,
and obviously with the Blood Feud as well, you accrued a lot of your Blood Feud points in that turn when that Nova spell went off, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty wild. That's it from us, but before we go, big thank you to James once again for lending us the Alpha Legion. We've got them for one more week now.
Yep, so we're going to try and squeeze one more game in there, just try and figure out something to pitch them up against.
Absolutely, but I really hope you've enjoyed this. We've had lots of fun filming this one, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you very much for watching.